Welcome to my show. Welcome to my channel. This is a Hermetic Earth School. I'm going to be talking a little bit about Maya's calendar and where we are returning back into the Christ consciousness. Christ with the higher frequencies of heaven on earth, the reunion of the masculine and feminine spirits, the rebalancing of the universe, pretty much fixing the calendar of creation within the birthing cycle. This is a new earth, so people need to drop what they think they know about spirit and what they think they know about galactic stuff in the universe and ascension. Because people, when it comes to the DNA codes and when it comes to the blueprints to Divine Mother's womb and the prophecy, no one has the keys, okay? People may be channels, people may be mediums, people may be able to see certain things, but in this realm, there's too many. This is the fallen realm. We're in the realm outside of the temple, okay? The people were born outside of Buddha's temple. People were born in the misery of what Buddha witnessed, okay? But people aren't looking, but at the same time they think that they are within Buddha's temple ascending. So there's a lot of spiritual manipulation. In today's timeline, people are stuck in religion through the Christianity and the Jews and what you see on the surface within the 3D realm. But within the spirit, things have changed, and we have returned back to one love, Jah love, unity, unconditional love, the rainbow prophecy. But people's consciousness, people's frequency, where everybody was born outside of Buddha's temple because Buddha was dead. It's also the frequency of where the Divine Feminine was and where Mother Earth was. If there was a situation in heaven, there ended up being a situation on this earth plane and within Mother Earth. And so we've been, as people know, the fallout of the Mayan times, the Mayan calendar. And yeah, we've been running on a manipulated calendar, but when it comes to spirituality and creation, everything comes from spirit first. Everything comes from the water first. And that's where time comes from. It's where you come from. You come from the invisible space, coming through a porthole. So when we are reborn, people attempting to be reborn into a realm of Christ, Jesus, and the biblical stuff. People trying to meditate, they're doing all of this yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, trying to reach a higher frequency. But the higher frequency comes back. They speak on going within, holding the balance, holding the light, Kundalini rising, chakras, the frequencies, all of this stuff. But people can only accept so much in their mind when it comes to like the numerical codes, the truth of the alchemy, because everything has been re-alchemized within the sacred water, within the mercury, salt, and sulfur, within taking things back, um, reversing the black magic, reversing inverted symbols. And a lot of the earthquakes reflect releasing dark energy of ancient history and reflecting what it is within the truth of the spirit. So what you see in Egypt, what you see across the pond, is nothing but stolen blueprints and stolen stuff, manipulated teachings, because the fallen ones, the ones, they don't have any teachings. And so they just stole, it's the manipulation of the elements, it's the fire and the water. So, you can talk about ancient history with the manipulated fire, but this is where, it's all within the Hermetic lab, all within the temple of creation. And this is a Masonic build. Once upon a time, before we were born, like you look at what they present to you as Masons and the Illuminati, of these ones following a certain order. These ones, the fake Jews, they follow an order where comes out of Egypt, and it's the fallen order, and everything has been manipulated. But when you go back into creation without speaking, that's the problem today. Like, to be born, be reborn, and you look at everyone with all these symbols, and Asia and the calligraphy, or the mandalas, where people do awakened meditation. And that's part of, if you're looking at someone that's doing awakened meditation, it can be reading, it can be coloring, it can be walking, it can be other things, just clearing the mind, exercising, whatever it be. But when you get into what alchemist of the ancient times, you get into Hermes, you get into the creation of colors. That's where it's all what this is, of re-alchemizing colors, re-alchemizing DNA, re-alchemizing your chakras, purifying your water, taking some fire in the water, which is red and blue, and transmuting it into the violet flame. All these years since 2012, violet flame thing, twin flame thing, it's all been a hijack, because the fallen ones and the fake spirituality of this new age, the people can't get over the threshold of into understanding. When people meditate, they get into a higher frequency, but they're always kicked out because they're not allowed to leave their bodies, because the people want to get to a higher frequency, but you've been tied to the lower frequencies for such a long time. And if Mother Earth was tied to the lower frequencies, and the feminine as a whole, the over masculinity, everybody within creation and Buddha being dead, and the rainbow.
Dude, did you order the new iPhone 17 Pro? Got
Rainbow.
Verizon, the best 5G network in America.
And the rainbow being manipulated, and the saying of getting into the temple, and everything that you look at of across the pond, and everything that has happened over the past, you can go back into 2,000 years ago, but then it's like you can also just look at what came into America 500 years ago, into the Mayan times, Aztec, Inca. There's so much distorted history, but that's the part where everyone was talking about this here and now throughout these years with Ram Dass and all this stuff. But it's also like, what does it mean to be here and now? Because no one can speak on the awakened truth of where we reside today, where Mother Earth is. That's the truth, where Mother Earth is and where her consciousness is, because no one's able to actually get into her frequencies. Okay? No one's able to get into the Divine Mother. No one's able to get into Mother Earth, because that's what this is about. It's about the mother, and it's about the daughter. And there's a lot of humans in the way, and there's a lot of demons outside of the temple. The door has been closed. The Ouroboros has bitten his own tail. People see the auroras, they see the rainbows, but they don't understand them because they're locked out, and they don't understand the as above, so below, within and without, even though that they repeat it. People are on the level of Reiki from 2012. Once upon a time, there was no Reiki. Once upon a time, there was just magic, divine magic, white magic. So we have taken things back. There's only one person at the gate, and there's only one timekeeper who is within the temple today. Everything has been taken back, all the numerical codes, because people speak too much. There's all these people following fake spiritual galactic gurus who say that they speak on stuff. Some channels are real, some channels aren't. A lot of people get fake messages. A lot of people want to be on pedestals. They want to be the end-all be-all when it comes to giving the messages. They want to have a following. Doesn't matter. People have no clue of what's coming to the surface. This is that the words of speaking, history is repeating itself. But the people who hear these words aren't getting the frequency that are behind it, because they're in it. And they're trying to ignore it. But they can't, because it's already within, and it's been laying dormant for eternity, ever since they got into the temple, Judah's temple. Try and tell you it's over there. So what are the codes? What's within the spirit? What's within the sacred water? The frequencies are distorted within the psyche, within the mind of humanity, because the Satan technology has risen within the people. But they ignore it, because in the outer mind, they believe it's not real, and they can't come out of it. People look at numbers. They look at the angel numbers, 111, 222, 333. Everything is invisible. Everything is in your mind. So when you're trying to ascend, you're trying to meditate, people get visions. There's no more veil. But people are expecting to see lizards or aliens or demons or whatever. Don't worry. They're hiding in plain sight. They've come into the body. So how do you lift up your shield? There needs to be an understanding of where we are today. What is the frequency? What is the energy that is building the neurotic energy within the body? People are attached to everything outside of them. They don't understand what's within. They don't understand their consciousness and where they came through within the mother's womb, the mother's water. Because nothing has ever changed ever since they got in. And the frequencies. It's a spiritual door of understanding and seeing what's in your mind. These are the blueprints of time. Within, you have your DNA, you have your chakras, you have everything, and you have your circle, your square, your triangle, Star of David, swastika, peace symbol, hangman symbol, four corners, the X, and you have everything, the numerical codes, the numbers, your time, your Merkaba, sacred geometry. People see it in their third eye. People see it, people draw it, people color it, but it still can't be comprehended until you can put it all together within the planetary alignments of the Pleiadians. Because this temple is home to the Pleiadians and time, Maya's time. This is where we reside today. Humanity is locked out because they don't have time. They don't give themselves time to understand the here and now. The here and now, as the older hippies would say, the ones who went to India, ended up being hijacked. The frequency opened up, the energies opened up in the 60s and the 70s, but they were shut down. Now we're in this AI timeline, which no one knows about. I've soul traveled the AI. I understand it because it's where the beast is. It's where the demons went. Because all they have is fire. They don't have no water. Where does the water reside? It resides underneath. The manipulation of where the water is. It's in the belly. It's in the belly of the beast. It's under the four corners. It's the four rivers. You see the capstone on the top? What's below? But you also see, they talk about Planet X. Planet X. Look at the design. Look at the design. Four corners. See the stairs? Four corners. See the interdimensional interdirections, northeast, north, south. So you have the stairs, but then you have the X. This is your 44. This is your Buddha's eightfolded path, because it's a spiritual path of understanding, and the spiritual path is climbing the steps. I'm not going to count the steps here, but these are blueprints within one's soul, within one's body, because once you're able to elevate yourself within your body, you can understand the blueprints to this temple. The water, the mercury, which flowed below and within the temple. So the water, four rivers, four corners, Planet X, flowing above, below, and the water would flow down into the aqua farms. But that's the capstone. The key is the 12 plus 4. 16, 12 months. 12 months plus 4. Because there's the 3 months. Or we'll go 9, because you gotta start at 9. It ends at 9. Birthing cycle is 9. Birthing cycle is 9. If you look at the calendar, it's 12. 10, 11, 12. But they say that there's a missing month. The missing 13th month. Okay. So you have 9 plus 3, which is 12. That goes back down to 3. Okay. everything goes back down to 3. Nothing goes above 9. So 9 plus 3 is 12. The 13, because the 3 months of darkness, 3 days of darkness, all this, where we are now, falling out of time, 3 months were actually 1 month, because within the zodiacal calendar, within the Mithra symbols of the lion, the bird, and the serpent, being the Trinity, is 3. That 3 becomes 1, which is 4. That 4 is the capstone. 4 corners. 4 corners, 4 directions, 4 winds, 4 colors, 4, 4, 4, which is 12, which is 3. There's a trinity, there's a triangle, there's 2 triangles, but the pyramid, because in true reality, you also have a 4th pyramid. There's not 3 corners to a pyramid. There's 4 corners to a pyramid. Sacred geometry. You got to be able to see. So if you have 4 corners, 4 pyramids, 4 plus 4 is 8. The 9 plus 4 is 13, which is 4. So you have 12 plus 4, which is 16. Okay? One plus 6 is 7. 16. This is sacred geometry. So I just said you have the 44. 144. 4 and 4 is 8. You have 18. 108 mala beads. Okay? 0 does not exist. 0 is not a number. It is the O. It's a 0. It's the circle around. It is the Ouroboros. Nothing goes above 9. So back to 16. If you look at this, you have 8 corners. 4 and 4. You have your, as they say, planet X, and then you have your X, 4 corners and 4 rivers, and then you have your 4 directions. There's a calendar before Maya's calendar, and that's where everything is, the truth of just a numerical code before speaking. So within the circles, within the symbols and the numbers is the code. So you have the 16, which you break down to 16, which is 88. Eight plus 8 is 16. You have 8 above, 8 below. 16, which is 12 plus 4. If you look again, you have your 4 sets of stairs. In between, you see the points on each corner. They're on each side. So 2, 4, 6, 8. You actually have 12 sides within this. Then the 4 on top. So you have 12 plus 4, which is 16. That's the code to Maya's calendar. There are no blueprints. The blueprints are is in the DNA. It's in your chakras. But you can't get into the temple because your mind can't comprehend what timeline you're on today. There's a frequency. There's an iron shield. There is the crown. Red, green, and gold. The lion. But they want to play it off as biblical. There's the totem pole. Mithras. There's Osiris. There's Hermes. There's Mercury. Because Mercury comes from your belly. Mercury comes from underneath the temple. Mercury is in the water and transforms your belly because the Christed one is in your belly. The gold. Okay? So we're going to reverse some things. As above, so below. There's a sun within Mother Earth. People know the true, the fairy tale of inner Earth. Why do you think they came? They wanted to get into the golden kingdom, into heaven. But no one knows where the entrance is. There's only one entrance from Atlantis to Lemuria. There's only one entrance into the Ouroboros, into the Hyperborealis. But no one knows where it's at, because they can't see today. Where there's no temple is where the entrance is. And it's not in the east, far east, and whatever, biblical timelines. Over there in the desert. That's the old stuff. But it's all about where creation happened. First piece of land out of the water. And all this stuff. So we're inside the temple. We're inside you. We're inside Maya's temple. Divine Father's temple. Divine Father's build. Protecting the feminine, because this is the mastery. So within the temple of giving birth. So the sun comes up, and when you have the perfect alchemized frequencies with no pollution, the sun shining up through the water, the rainbow shoots up through the pyramid and out, up and out, just like the Ouroboros, just like the auroras, just like the rainbow. It's happening right now. Because there used to be, I think they call it mica. They used to use mica as glass windows instead of stained glass. So if you're looking at all of the medieval temples over there, they use glass and stained glass to reflect the sun coming into the church, down into the church. Within these, the sun comes up. But it's as above, so below is all one, it's all connected. So it's a spiritual journey to climb these steps. So what you're seeing out there in the frequencies of America is the same thing that came into the Mayan times. It came into the Greek times, it came into the biblical times, it came into every timeline. It's the same frequency. So we need to protect ourselves spiritually, materially, and understand the truth of what is going on out there. But to come back into the oneness and the unity, there's only one path, there's only one journey. But there's so many Mayans who think that they know it all. A lot of people don't have the answer. A lot of people following the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama is a demon. Dalai Lama is a demon. He was hijacked. Every spiritual guru, because you can't, if you look at everybody out there today, all the people that they have whacked in the music industry, in Hollywood, in political scenes, they would not present to you a true guru. They would not give you a true spiritual leader. They would whack them like they did Jesus, like they did to the apostles. They'll have to everybody that speaks the truth, because they want to control humanity. And then as you see today, what they have done to the younger generation with the AI, and the children being born into the AI. But that's what it's about. It's about saving humanity, saving the children, saving the feminine power, because it's the feminine power of creation. It's just the bottom line. So people want to talk about frequencies, they want to talk about the truth, they want to talk about circles, squares, triangles, and numerology, aliens and stuff like that. Pleiadians, everybody's to rebuild a calendar, to rebuild Maya's calendar, had to go back into time, pick up all of the feminine pieces on every single timeline, purge all of the fallen energy out of the calendar, out of Maya, out of heaven, out of the planets, out of all the planets, out of the Pleiadians, out of the symbols, out of Mother Earth, out of the fairy realms, realigned, take back all the animals, free the animals, free the ancestors, free everything and everybody, to rebuild Mother Earth and the universe. Because within this temple, within and without, are the planets, are the Pleiadians, and everything that you think of as in spirituality is not outside. You may play with singing bowls, you may play with tarot cards, you may play with sage, you may meditate to try and, wherever people think they're going. But the mind can't, where are you going to go? So when you're awake in this reality, and you're looking outside of yourself through your human eyes, You're the same as the AI. Because the fallen have put themselves in the AI. And both of you are trying to get back into the temple. The fallen trying to get back into heaven. Humanity trying to get back into heaven. The fallen are within humanity. Get it? I hope you do. This is Christ consciousness. This is returning back to heaven on earth. Rainbow prophecy. Every prophecy around the world has been fulfilled. There's just been a major earthquake. We've already gone full circle around the temple, around the Ouroboros, around the rainbow dragon, around Mother Earth, around the universe. Cleaned everything up, cleaned Venus up, cleaned Mars up, dealing with Mars, dealing with what is left of that situation as we know it. This is intergalactic, interdimensional spiritual warfare. What's been going on for eternity? And everything is coming to the surface. The people will fall because they don't understand. This is why they're ignoring it. They can't talk about the situation. It's too confusing. So we have to return to our oneness. We find the love for humanity. We find the unconditional love for one another. Because the spirit, the fallen ones, the demons that have bred throughout this time by stealing the elements of creation, by manipulating Hermes' elements, Divine Mother's elements, Gaia's elements, coming through this porthole. They have to be taken out because they're not allowed to exist. It's just the way that it's happening. People in their mindset are thinking of the end days in a certain way. They have the nightmares of programming because of what they have been told for eons. And there are humans in the way of the spiritual war. There always has been. The humans have always seen it. But today they're brainwashed to think that it's never existed. But they have to see it with their own eyes. That's the thing. If it isn't fake blue-gray aliens, blue beam aliens, or if it's, a real sacrifice, because a sacrifice has taken place. It always has taken place. The spilling of the blood of the ancestors. Doesn't matter what timeline you're on. And that's the part of them not having any water. They need it into the water. There are only fire, but that don't mean anything. When you manipulate the water, there's a lot of manipulation. So anyway, I hope you're understanding the fairy tale, the story. Separation, unity, unconditional love, reconnecting to Mother Earth, who is not below you anymore. She is above. There is no more below. That's the thing. The only thing that is below is the sun. The sun shining into the darkness to show everybody what the truth is. Because the confusion is the as above, so below, within the directions of their own chakras. Namaste. Many blessings.